All right, welcome back to another Omni Garage video. So, man, we have tried out some products, do you think?
Yeah.
This is a big project. This is a big project.
These have been in your spare bedroom accumulating for the better part of the last 2.5 years,
Some of them are really dusty. Some products I have no idea that I've even tried. I was actually going through last night because you're telling me, oh, we need to make a video, So I was going through and I was like, oh, I don't even remember that. So basically I created some spreadsheets, and every product I bought, I just put it into a spreadsheet, and I just made up some things that I would like the product to do, and I either tick the box, yes, no, how does it come in a gallon, is it available in New Zealand, can I buy it, etc, etc. So I just made up some criteria, and based on that criteria, if it sort of met the needs and I thought it was better than another product, then it kind of made its way to the shelf, loosely put, right? And that's kind of the same as you.
Not that everything in here is a throwaway, right? Because I think, that one on the top there, Rags to Riches, fantastic product, really tough to get in New Zealand. When it comes in, it's gone. So what's kind of made the cut to your shelf is a different product. But if we had it our way and we had products as accessible as you'd find in the States, for example.
I think that's really well said, you know. It's quite funny when you get to like products that you like, so you might get 3 products that are really close, they perform really well to each other. You have to make a decision of, you know, can I buy it, is it accessible, and it just comes down to personal preference in the end of the day, especially when, you know, you got 3 or 4 products. You can definitely when you can't tell the difference between a product, it's probably like, well, I'm going to choose this one because I like the smell of it or something like that.
There's a few categories like that, right? Like glass cleaners, interior cleaners, some tire dressings, like really tough to differentiate between what you like, and I think some of it just comes down to that personal preference. The smell, is it really accessible? What's the price of it? I think comes into it for a lot of people as well. But I think we've settled behind you there on a pretty good lineup of products that we enjoy 90% of them, and there's probably 10% up there that we're still working through. What is the best? That's where all of these come into the process, and I guess kind of the test flight shelf.
Well, the test shelf is getting smaller and smaller. As I test more and more, it becomes, you know, less specifics, more about, oh, well, I haven't really tried that, so I'll eventually get it. But how this kind of all started is, you know, I bought the blue WRX, and at the time I lived in an apartment, and I thought, oh, well, Maguire's products is like the products that are, you know, really everywhere. So I used to get the Performance Car magazine. I was like, oh, well, it's in the magazine. Yeah, I sort of buy into the marketing, and Maguire sort of was like it's a premium sort of DIY sort of at your local hardware, not hardware store, at your local car store sort of product that you can buy. And at the time, started hanging out with you. Remember, you had that shelf full of Maguire's products.
All Maguire's. They were stacked deep too, because I just been to Walmart in the States, and when you look at a product at Walmart and it's like $6 US, and then you got a Repco super cheap in New Zealand that's $50. I came back with a whole suitcase worth of Maguire's.
I was like, this guy is balling. Like, I'm just staring at a shelf just laced with Maguire's, and I was like, oh yeah, this guy's quite cool, you know. I've just gone to Maguire's, he likes Maguire's, oh, let's be mates. And it was like my goal was like, I love Maguire's. Maguire's is like the best product in the world. I'm just going to buy everything. I'm going to have the whole catalogue, and Maguire's is my product. And then naturally what happens, you know, you start to take an interest in detailing. You're like, well, I'll try this product and I'll try this. And all of a sudden you kind of find that Maguire's have got 1 or 2 really good products that you like, but actually another brand has got a better product. And so that's how we kind of started the YouTube channel, right? Just sort of hanging out in the garage, doing that sort of testing. And then as I said before, I created the spreadsheet, and we talked about why some products are better than others. And then all of a sudden we created a detailing business. And so what happens naturally is you think you have the products all sorted. You're like, I have this one car, this car stays clean all the time, I need X products, and that always gets the job done. Then when you have a random person's car come in for a clean, it's like all of a sudden my perfect small collection of products no longer cuts the mustard. I need something a little bit more heavy duty. Well, this product works better on this vehicle, and so naturally it just expands. And so what we're going to see here is we're going to see a group of products that are good for a specific application, not necessarily mine, but might fit somewhere else in another application, and that is just dependent on us and the customer and what kind of cars they have and where they sort of sit. So this is sort of my and Glenn's sort of collection of products, but also a little bit of the business and what that requires as well.
I think these are pretty much replicated across both of our personal garages, and then we have the Omni Garage cabinet, which is over in my garage at the moment, where we do have some of those edge case products, the ones that we bought specifically for tackling cars that are probably outside of the norm of how we normally take care of them, where we've really had to branch out, and we're probably working with a lot of products there that we don't know if they're the best. We just have to have them on hand because you never know what's going to pop up in the driveway and what kind of guess conditions you're going to be working in.
And so yes, we have tested a lot of products, not every single product, and definitely by no means have we tested the most products. But what we have here is we have a set of products that we both like, that meet our needs, and this is our personal sort of opinions on what we think is good. This is not necessarily the only way, and this is not something that we're definitely advocating as the best and everyone should have this. This is what Glenn and I like, and so that's what we're going to sort of talk about now. So how I've kind of set the shelf up is that at the bottom is the buckets and all the wheel tools and stuff like that. We won't necessarily talk about that too much. If you want to find this video, we did make one a couple of years ago. It's kind of all sort of the similar, except we've changed a few products around. Then in the middle here I have all my microfiber. So all the microfiber comes from the Rad company. That's the same for you. It all comes from the Rad company, and we just basically, whatever their little blurb talks about for their specific application, that's what we're using. Our polishers and polishing tools are Rupe's pretty much exclusively, so the pads that we use, we can talk about that in your setup because you have all that sort of stuff at your place.
We do, that's all in the cabinet. You don't have too many polishers here, just some of the test flight stuff.
And then I have gallons, sort of, that kind of match a little bit up the top here. So I like to have a gallon because I like to refill the matching bottle. Now, a gallon is definitely a cheaper way to buy the products as well. So I think you're looking at almost $100 per gallon now. It used to be
easily. Some of them go up to like 120, 130, depending on the product.
So Brake Buster and Bee Maker, they used to be sort of around about the 80 odd dollars, but that's definitely 100 now. And so I have Meguiar's all-purpose cleaner, and I also have the Meguiar's degreaser. I bought these a long time ago, as I said, when I like to use Meguiar's, and I wanted to have the whole catalog. The degreaser I basically never use on the car. I only use the degreaser for cleaning out, like if I've done an oil change. You know how you dip all the oil into those oil buckets or those oil tubs? I use the degreaser to clean that out. If I get oil on tools and stuff, that's when I'm using a degreaser.
This is the only danger of buying a gallon, is because if you're not fully committed to the product and then you find something better.
I thought I was.
I know, but look,
I thought I was committed to Meguiar's completely, right?
Yep.
And that's the same with your all-purpose cleaner. I think all-purpose cleaners are remotely kind of the same. You can have like a 4:1 dilution, you can have a 1:10 dilution. So I think because those two products are dilutable, I think you're probably going to have them for a lot longer than if you had just a ready-to-use straight-up product there. I think Nanoskin Glide, that's the same. We probably are starting to go through a lot more of this because we're detailing a lot more cars. But if you were not necessarily, you know, had a whole fleet of vehicles coming in every week and you just had your one car, this Nanoskin Glide would last you forever.
That'll still last us. I reckon it'll be 2 years before we need to buy another product.
And for me, I don't necessarily think Nanoskin Glide is the best thing to be using when you're auto scrubbing and you're starting to decontaminate your vehicle. I think you could be fine with using maybe a soap, or you could be fine using O&R or a rinseless wash or something like that, or a specific clay lube, like I know Gion uses a clay lube.
Theirs is really nice. It just gets really pricey because you can't get it in the gallon.
It's a small bottle, isn't it?
The benefit to Nanoskin is that you can buy it in bulk, and it's really cost effective because you're going to get a lot of use out of that.
This you can't buy exclusive in New Zealand, so you can't buy this product at all. You have to get it off Amazon or something like that. You buy it on a gallon, it's quite costly, but the cost for how long this has lasted me, it probably outweighs, you know, the difference there. What's in behind there is hyperdressing. Again, I bought a gallon of hyperdressing.
Hyperdressing is a great product and really tough to get. If you're in the United States at the moment, you'll know that it's really challenging to find that. So,
and that's dilutable as well. Hyperdressing we don't really use a lot. We use it for beds of trucks, we use it for wheel wells, and actually the best time we used hyperdressing was on those running boards of the Range Rover Sport that we detailed.
Yep.
And so for plastic trim and stuff, that's kind of good for those type of areas. Can get a little blotchy. Again, it's dilutable. Don't really use it that much.
Tire dressing. This is my favorite smelling product of any detailing product over the last couple of years.
So so tire dressing there, I've also got the smaller spray bottle of it. I've tried quite a few tire dressings. So I've used hyperdressing at range of dilutions. We've used what's the CarPro one? Pearl, range of different dilutions. I've used the Meguiar's Endurance tire gel. We've started using, or we've just tried the Car Pro Dark Side.
Yep, we've also got the new G-Technic one that we haven't
tried that out yet. What I tend to find with tyre dressings is that they seem to be really thick and quite gluggy, and then you sort of paint it on with your brush or your applicator and you're left with this big blotchy, thick sort of layer of stuff that you need to flatten off, but I just don't like how the thick tyre gels they work. So why I like that one, not necessarily because it smells like blueberries, but because it's quite thin to apply. It's quite usable, isn't it? It's easy to spread. It gives you a nice matte finish, and then when you wipe it down, it finishes really nicely. And I think out of the, what did I say, 5 or 6 tyre dressings, I think that's the best one.
That's another one you cannot get in New Zealand. You can import it from Australia now, so next time we need a gallon, it's probably going to be a bit more affordable. But I mean, you've got the gallon there, and you've also got, that's a litre bottle, isn't it?
And I've had this for a couple of years. Well, I got this when it came out.
Yeah.
Whenever Matt from the Obsessed Garage released that product, that's when I bought it, and I've had that for that amount of time.
Yeah, it's going to last.
And that's the same, gets all done, that product goes on to the customers' cars and stuff like that. So we do blow through a little bit of it, but I think it's a pretty decent purchase there. What else? Oh, and so iron decon, right? So I think you need to just find an iron product because I reckon it's all the same. It all has a similar active ingredient. So we've used Car Pro, what is it called? Iron X.
Yeah.
I've used this one. It does roughly the same thing.
I'm pretty happy with Iron X, but I wouldn't be averse to trying the
they got the PNS one, yeah.
Iron Buster, but you're right, 6 of one, half a dozen the other. That's the product that we've got. We'll use it until it's gone, and then the default that we generally will buy for customer vehicles that we're working on is Iron X, because we also use Tarex.
It sounds like a nice combo. Tarex, Iron X, I think those products go hand in hand. Tarex we use for tar removal. I've got a bottle way back there. That's really good. I like it. You can see the tar pull off. I haven't tried anything other than that, but I think that product works really well.
You kind of got the staples, right? In the middle. Brake Buster, Bead Maker. I reckon that those two there,
these two,
the amount of gallons that you and I have both been through, I would say at least a dozen gallons of each product over the last 2 years.
So Bead Maker is an interesting product. So we use that to as a topper. It's like an SiO2 type product. That's sort of a polymer based sort of product. It's got a really nice scent. So there's Bead Maker, there's the Obsessed Garage Drying Aid, there's Slipstream, there's 3D Beat It Up, there's Extreme Solutions.
Car Pro also have a product that's really pricey, Reload.
They've just released Reload 2.0.
Yep.
What's another product? They do G-Technic C2 V3. And out of all those products, I haven't tried them all, but I've probably tried over half of them, and actually half of them are in that box there. I reckon between Bead Maker, 3D Beat It Up, the Obsessed Garage Drying Aid, those products, I reckon if I was blindfolded, I couldn't tell the difference.
Apart from smell, you could smell Bead Maker.
Yeah, you can smell it, but people say Bead Maker attracts a lot of dust. Well, I cleaned this car a week ago, and it doesn't look dusty.
It also hasn't been outside.
Well, it's sat in the garage. So has it attracted dust? Maybe. How do you tell whether or not it's attracted dust? Like what are you gauging by that? I find that really hard. I find that these products, they make the paint feel really slick. So how do you prove one's slicker than the other? That's more of a personal thing. And then it comes down to smell, and a big one for us here in New Zealand is availability. So
Bead Maker's easy to get.
I struggle to buy nearly every single one of those products that I just mentioned, except for Bead Maker.
Yep.
It comes in a gallon from Prestige Auto Care. I can buy it in the litre bottle. It's really available, so that's why that's why you and I choose that, because of accessible.
You can even get the 5 gallon tow to that as well.
Yes,
which is
you can.
Probably, the next time we need Bead Maker, that's probably the way that we'll go, because we do use a lot of it. Same with Brake Buster. So just us being able to jump online, order those, pretty much you can guarantee it any time of the year you can get them. Because if we use one of those other products like Obsessed Garage's Drying Aid, it's going to take a week to get here, number one, and we also probably get paid double. If
there was a product where it was way different, like it was next level better, I probably would get it. But when you've got sort of 5 or 6 products that are performing pretty good, all very equal, and you'd struggle to tell the difference, I think you need to pick one that you like, choose a scent that you really like if that's what's important to you, and just stick with that. I don't think you're going to be disappointed either way, and I don't think anyone's going to tell you, oh yeah, this is better than that, because I think they're pretty much the same. Brake Buster, So brake buster, we haven't, this is an area that we haven't really worked too hard on. So brake buster, it's pretty good at cleaning wheels and tires that are clean, right?
Yeah.
It foams up, so people have said, oh, why do you need to put it in a foamer? Well, if you spray this product on, it foams a little bit, but you get real poor coverage. If you put it in the foam cannon, you get beautiful coverage. You almost get too much coverage. It creates a lot of suds, which is really good because you want that, you know, lubrosity, and you want that ability to be able to clean them a lot better. And I think it's slick. No, what am I talking about? I think it also likes to cling really nicely to the wheels, and that allows you to give that dwell time and cleaning ability.
I like the ability you can use that on rubber as well. We use it to clean tires. Again, of clean cars, we do have a specific product that's a bit more aggressive that we also use there. But I think brake buster, if you've got a clean, maintained car, great product.
This is good for mild to moderate cleaning. Now, in the detailing world, you get cars where you can't even tell what color the wheel is coming in. I think Omni Garage really needs to step it up. We need to find something a little bit more aggressive than what we're currently using, but we will eventually get there, I suppose. What else do we need to talk about? Glass cleaner. So glass cleaner, again, in that box, I've tried a lot of glass cleaner. I've tried, at the moment, this is Stoner's Invisible Glass in the Meguiar's bottle. I've used the Meguiar's glass cleaner. I've used the G-Technic glass cleaner. I've used Clarify from CarPro. I've used the Koch Chemi Speed glass cleaner, whatever they call that one. What else? I'm just looking in the bottle here. I talked about invisible glass.
Pretty much use every product.
Oh, I've used the Geon one, the lemonade flavored scent one from Geon. And so out of that, 6 glass cleaners, and in the top sort of 3 or 4 products that I like, there's not one glass cleaner. And we've got Angel Wax.
I used it for the first time tonight.
Yeah.
It made me feel sick. Like it is
because it's got that real strong ammonium smell, right?
Yeah. So I use that, and I don't think it's called. Well, it says on the bottle that it's safe for tint, and it's a regular clean. There's no way. There's no way.
I've also used Fireball glass cleaner. That Fireball glass cleaner smells exactly the same as the
purple liquid, eh?
Yeah, is it
Fireball?
purple?
Yeah, and the ribbed bottle.
Oh, the rib. Yeah. So those are sick products. So, in all honesty, you and I haven't really found a glass cleaner that's amazing, right? So, if you're cleaning real clean glass, those products probably perform pretty all right. But when you get glass that's never been cleaned before, you need something a bit more aggressive. You want it to be safe, so you don't want any ammonium in that product in case you peel someone's tint off. Like, that would be quite embarrassing. That's a category I'm really struggling with. There's not one product that I really like. I think I like Geon glass cleaner up there. I also think I like the G-Technic glass cleaner. Those two are probably 1 and 2 for me. I'm not a fan of Stoner's. I'm not a fan of the Meguiar's. You like Stoner's Invisible Glass.
I do. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think glass cleaners are so similar that for me to be able to shoot down to Mitre 10 or Super Cheap Auto and get a bottle of that, it's not bad. It flashes really nicely. There's no scent to it. So it's just a standard glass cleaner. I can use it around the house as well.
I think these products are just good. I don't think I've found one that's really good. I've just found a bunch that they work all right.
I think in that category though, you're going to really struggle to find something that wows you. It is a glass cleaner, alcohol-based product. There's very little, we notice when they're really bad.
Yeah.
Based on the smell and how strong the chemicals are.
And if they're streaky and things like that. You really need a good towel to really see how good the glass cleaner is, because I think the towel lets you down sometimes as well, your microfiber glass clean towel. So an area that Omni Garage has started to discover that needs more work is in our polishing area. So when we had cars that looked really already quite nice, you know, we had some real simple polishing compounds. So we used, what do we use? Cut Max as our most aggressive, and we used Perfect Finish as our least aggressive. I bought the Mizuno line, so I have super heavy duty big whoa cut 300, and I also had the real huge one, the 1000, and I also had the 350. I hated all 3 of these.
Yeah, polishes are really tough. We'll talk about that more in the other video that we do in the other garage. We've got a whole bunch more that we're going to try, but again, that's just something that we need to have them, because you don't know what polish or compound and pad combo is going to work on any given car. So you've got to have them all at your disposal.
Yeah, and we're slowly working through. We need something way more aggressive, and so we will address that in your garage. Then we come along, we use FU Freshen Up for our interior scent. I don't really like that. It's okay.
There's got to be something better, but it's nice to spritz in the interior.
I want to go back and try the CarPro SiO2, whatever that one is. And then we have some interior detailers. So again, we use P&S interior cleaner quite a lot. I hate the smell of it. It foams really well, but I'm not a fan of it. So that made us to go, and I think we've really narrowed this down. We've tried quite a few, and the two that we sort of keep coming back to is Geon Interior and ASC, all around surface cleaning.
I think those two products there, interior is funny, right? Because I think you need an interior product that is not aggressive at all, just to do your wipe down if you've got your car really clean and you're doing like a nice weekly maintenance. Then you want something that's a little bit harder hitting, but I also think you want the combo of something that you can use on leather at the same time that's not a specific leather cleaner. So I think the three products that we've got at the moment, which is Geon Interior, ASC, and the P&S interior cleaner is probably that combo, but I think where we're not sold is the P&S product.
Yeah, for me, I think Geon is better than ASC.
Yep.
ASC. I think that product takes the cake. It's pretty hard to buy. You can only buy it from one location here in New Zealand in a 500ml bottle. It's pretty expensive. You're right. I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with the P&S. I think we need to find maybe something in all-purpose cleaner sort of area, maybe a light dilution for our foaming and something like that, or we need to go to something like, what's it called? O&R.
Yeah,
and maybe O&R also might help clean the glass. We need to try that. It's something that we need to have a little go at there, but we're getting closer. And this CarPro and a QD, we both bought a gallon of that. That's stupid because this is not it either. And we are trying the Nexet Cockpit Premium, but again, we have to buy that from Amazon. So,
no thoughts on that product yet.
No,
we've got to give it a home.
I've tried the Koch Chemie Refresh Cockpit Care, but that's not it either. So,
we'll get.
I think we're stuck with those because those seem to be the best. Right, a massive area that I have spent a ton of money on is soaps. I have tried Meguiar's what's it called? Hyperwash. I've tried the one from, I've just said I tried heaps and I can't remember the names. What was that one from Adams? Adams Car Shampoo.
Adams Car Shampoo, yeah, the blueberry smelling one. Yep.
We've tried GSF Gentle Foam. I've tried GSF Auto Snow Foam, or the, what is that one called? Auto Shampoo.
Auto Shampoo.
We've tried Lift, we've tried Descale, we've tried
Reset.
Yep, I've tried G-Technic Citrus Wash. I've tried G-Technic G-Wash. I've tried the Snow Foam from Fireball.
G-Technic W4.
Yeah, that's a citrus
wash. The lemonade
wash.
one.
That's a citrus wash.
Citrus wash. Okay.
Yep. What else is in that bucket?
We've tried Meguiar's, just the standard wash and wax. You also mentioned the
Gold Hyper Wash. We've also tried Gold Class from Meguiar's. We've tried, what's that foam from Geon?
Oh, Geon Foam.
Yeah, Geon Foam. We've tried Geon Bathe. I think they've got a Bathe Plus.
And we tried Bathe Plus.
We tried that as well.
We have.
What have you tried? You tried anything else?
I don't think I've got every single one of those products you've given me the last 200 million gone here, have a hoon.
I've tried McKee's N914 as a wash. Well, you know, as a rinseless wash.
P&S Pearl.
Yep, P&S Pearl, and I've still got a gallon of P&S Pearl back there.
Oh, there you go, one at the top, chemical guys. Snow foam.
No, yeah, chemical. Yeah, that's that. So I use this in the I use this in the wheels because I'm just trying to get it. I think, and you think as well, that a real good gentle snow foam is what's it called? Koch Chemie GSF.
It's a good soap.
It's good soap. It's really available here in New Zealand. We can buy it in the 1 litre. We can also buy it in the 5 litre. It's got a decent scent, cherry scent. It foams really well. It's a very good all-day maintenance wash product.
We're still experimenting with those two products to the left, right? So Lift and Descale, because what we essentially want, we want a maintenance soap, which GSF, that's the one.
This is maintenance. It smells good. Just have another smell of it.
Yeah?
Just have a whiff.
Yeah?
No, yeah.
What does that smell like?
Oh, cherry scent. I actually think P&S Pearl is the best smelling product around. I love that lemon scent. And you know when you get like a real sour lolly and it goes in your mouth and your mouth sort of clenches?
You get that?
I get that every time. And I really want a P&S Pearl to be the perfect product, but this definitely takes the cut. An issue we have discovered is that this is good for your my car, you know, that gets cleaned every week. The problem is now that when we have a detailing company, or you know, we have cars that are really dirty. We have cars that aren't maintained. We have cars that have got no coatings on them, no wax, has got nothing but just mud on it. So we have been experimenting a little bit, and I think this is how I think about it. I think about this as a continuum. I've explained this to you a couple of times, but it kind of just dawned on me that when we have a customer's car that comes in that's filthy, it's got nothing on it, I think we want to be using a pre-wash. A pre-wash typically is quite high in pH, and you just foam it on dry, you let it dwell, and then you rinse off. And I think that gets a lot of the dirt and mud off. It also, you know, helps to loosen things up, and I think you want to use that on the real dirty car. The next step, I think you want to come in and you want to use a product that's a little bit more aggressive, like something like D-Scale or a reset wash, or actually Geon have got restart wash, which is another one we forgot about. And those sort of products, they help rejuvenate the hydrophobic properties of whatever's on the car. We chose to use D-Scale because it helps to rejuvenate coatings. If you've got water spots, it may or may not remove water spots.
It does. We haven't had great experience with that, but
I think it's just a little bit more aggressive and adds a little bit additional properties that GSF doesn't necessarily give for those type of cars. And so this we use in our, so we're using lift at the moment on the real dirty cars, foam on, rinse off. Then we bring D-Scale into our bucket, and we also foam this on, and then that's when we're getting into our mechanical washing. And what does this stuff smell like? I asked you the other night. Did you smell it, or did you just pretend?
I did smell it. It's
got like a chemical citrus smell, or is it chemical and cherry? It might be chemical, and every soap these days wants cherry scent.
Yeah, no, that is. That's like, you know those, not artificial cherries, those really sweet cherries that you get in those packets. Yeah. It smells like that, but with a bit of a mix of like a glass cleaner.
And so this works really well in the bucket. We can buy it from the CarPro distributor here, Detail Depot. We can get it in a gallon. And so I think that works really well. We also will be using it on our cars periodically, maybe every 3 months or every 6 months, or with customers that have got coatings as well, just to help restore some of the coating properties. Whether or not that does anything, I would like to, it makes me feel good.
That's more of a reset product though, which is hiding behind lift there, but I feel like we need to spend some more time with reset as well. I think this category as a whole, I see GSF staying for a while unless something comes out that's
absolutely.
A wow. But the lift and the D-Scale, like D-Scale is probably a bit more locked into a process, but I think lift will be one of 10 products that we try.
I don't know that necessarily lift's a product. A lot of people are talking about built hamber touchless. We can't buy that product here. It's really expensive. You use a lot of soap. They also have another product that Geon, is it Geon that's brought it out? Is it Geon? Geon Foam also does the same thing.
Yeah, which we've used in the past, but just not in this application. So we probably need
maybe Koch Chemie might have a product like the Auto Shampoo that's a little bit more aggressive. And so we will play around with this pre-wash idea. It's sort of been happening for the last couple of years that sort of YouTube detailers have really sort of brought up. And so I think you need to be using a pre-wash. What one? I'm not too sure. That's just because it's really available and that's what we've used. It did an all right job the other night on that ute.
I don't think it did a bad job, but I just think that it's one product that we will try out of many. I think that if I looked at those 3 products, I'm pretty happy with GSF. No, I'm very happy with GSF, pretty happy with D-Scale. Lift, I mean, look how much we've used. So, like, well, how little we've used.
It's got a 1 to 10 dilution.
It does, but we need to use that on half a dozen cars before I think we can make any solid calls on that. And we need to try some other products in that category as well, which I think is ever expanding in detail.
And so something I want to try. Now, I got this from Pan, the organizer. In his car wash process, he has got a pre-soak on really clean cars, so not your dirty customer car, but on a really clean car, he does a pre-soak of O&R. Or he does a pre-soak of the new product PNS Absolute. Now those are rinseless wash type products. And the idea I think behind it is by pre-soaking that, you've got little dust particles and a little bit of dirt that's meant to encapsulate it, pull it off the surface, and then you rinse. Because the idea is that if you're rinsing straight on with, you know, your 1000 PSI straight onto dirt, there's a concept out there that's meant to cause, well, not necessarily meant to, but will cause scratching on your paint. If you're blowing dirt, 100 PSI, that will cause scratching. So the idea of doing a pre-treat like that with an O&R type product or a foam is meant to encapsulate that, pull it off the surface, do your rinse, then get into your snow foam application. So I want to try that. quite like the idea. You're a bit cagey about it because you're a bit sort of slow to pick up ideas.
I let you do the research for me, and then I just follow suit. You know?
So I want to try that. I'm happy for you guys to comment. What do you think about this scale of products definitely for the soap that we're using? Any ideas on that? Because I think we need a little bit of help there. I think we're moving in the right direction with it, but we need to make it a little bit more robust.
You got one product on that top shelf before we kind of wrap up here, because there are a few other products that we'll discuss when we get to the other garage, particularly in the like the decon and the polishing process. But what's that windscreen cleaner you got up there? That's been a staple of yours for many years.
Oh, do you want to know the story behind that?
Yeah, sure, shoot.
So this is bar bugs, right? It's a bar bugs concentrate. Let's get a. This is nuts.
I'll put you on the spot with this product, eh?
So have a smell. You can have a smell.
Oh my goodness! Do you know what that smells like? Do you know what that is? That smells like Angel Wax Vision.
So you used to use this product. I remember you used to buy like the twin pack. These used to come as a twin pack. You used to buy 2 twin packs. It was like wrapped with like Glad wrap around it, and it was like buy one get one free sort of thing. Yep. So you used to use this product. So don't knock me too hard. I used to use this. So this is you put it in your windscreen washer, you know, and it's a concentrate. So you need to dilute it down. It's a real pain. You can actually buy this straight up ready to use, which is what I used to use quite a lot. Anyway, I have moved away from that, and I sort of use a rinseless wash solution, and I dilute that down and I use that in the windscreen reservoir. The reason for that is that this product mixed with general house water, you spray it on. We see this all the time with customer cars. They use maybe soap or they use something like this, and then what happens is they spray it on the windscreen and that squirt. You know how cars have got those squirters at the front there on the lights, and they squirt up on the lights. When they drive, it sprays this massive mist of crap and stuff all up the windscreen, and then it dries. And then with that hard water, you get water spots. You get water spots on your paint, you get water spots on your windscreen, and people continue to use products like this. So I moved away from that. I like something like O&R, and I put it in the reservoir, and I use that because it's a water softener, and I feel that's safe to dry on the paint.
What we need to do is we need to move to using deionized water.
Yeah. Probably.
And mix that with the O&R, and you'd have a great solution.
Well, you don't need to
use it.
You don't need to mix it with O&R because O&R will soften the water anyway. You would, if you were using this product and you're mixing it, you would use deionized water.
Yeah, but how good would deionized water be with O&R? You'll be able to use them in the sun.
It's almost pointless. Well, yeah, okay. Well, there's a guy who made a video. He used O&R in the sun with normal house water. Didn't get water spots.
Okay.
I was reading it in some vlog. I don't know, somewhere. But so what happened, right? Is the Audi. This is how I got hold of this product. I haven't used this for years. The Audi reservoir ran out of water. And what happens when it runs out of water? Every time you turn the car on, bings. Bings, your windscreen washer fluid needs filling up. Bing, 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 all the time. And so I was like, I'll get round to it one day. I need to buy some more O&R or some N914 or some Absolute Rinseless Wash. I'll buy one of them, and that's what I'll use. So what happened? The Audi got a wheel alignment, and so they forgot to put one of the metal tyre caps on the car. So I said to my partner, I said, on the way home, can you stop into Super Cheap Auto and can you buy the tyre cap that we need for the car? So she's like, yeah, all good. And anyway, comes home with not just one, 2 bottles of concentrate. And I'm like, this stuff I've never used in years. I don't like it.
Why did you buy it?
Because the windscreen reservoir had got empty.
The what? So the windscreen?
The windscreen wash reservoir. But, you know,
okay, so she's just been proactive.
She's been proactive. Great. And she's bought this, and I've gone.
Did she fill it up too?
No, I filled it up.
Oh,
so
okay.
This product is a pain to mix because it's 75 mils of bar bugs concentrate treats 3 litres. Well, I don't know how many litres my thingy is. And so it's for reservoir 4 litres and over, add 150 mils. So what do? I pour in 1 litre of water and I add 75 mils. Then I pour in another litre of water and add 7.
I bet you had about 6 litres in there.
Nah, it's like 3 and 3, 3 or 4, something like that. So, you know, and how much did I use? I used like not even, I don't know, I'm here. And I got 2 of them. Oh. So I think these are just going to go in the bin secretly, but that's the story behind that. What do you use anyway?
Nothing.
Just
straight water.
Just straight.
It's really bad. No, actually, I don't use straight water. No, I do. I can't lie. I did buy demineralized water.
Yeah. So
put in there, but it's uneconomical. We need to be able to use deionized water with something in there because I want to be able to use it.
no, we need to be using O&R.
Yeah, we can use
and
O&R.
that's it. Because for people doing this, don't use soap and water, because that's literally, you get water spots that go all the way up the side here and all up your windscreen on your glass. And people go, I've got water spots on my glass, how do they get there?
Well, I've heard of people putting dishwashing liquid in there.
Yeah, so don't do that. I'm telling you now, do not do that, because Glenn and I will then have to spend 3 hours polishing the crap out of your glass. All right, so that is basically my collection of products that I've tried, basically from this box. A little bit has been input by Glenn, a little bit has been input by other detailers, but eventually what will happen is we will make a video where I will go through each category, like interior cleaner, and I'll pull out all of these products and I'll go, I like this, I didn't like that, this is the reason why I chose this one, and I'll do the same for shampoos, and I'll do the same for, I don't know, what's another category? Glass cleaner, and I'll do another one for microfiber wash. And eventually you'll have a real good understanding of why I chose these and why I didn't. But for now, what you see behind me is my collection of products that came from this box that made it cut to the shelf. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and stay tuned for when I unbox and talk about this big money pit of mine.
Yeah,
thanks for watching.
How many thousands of dollars in there?
I don't know, probably the whole setup, a couple of $1,000. Maybe 3, 4, 5, something like that. Doesn't matter, because I'll spend all the money so that you guys can get some good products in your hands. Thanks for watching.